Now let us begin with the lesson The Call of the Soil, written by Venkateshwaram Iyer. In last video you will see that the introduction of the lesson, some workshop, and now the first in that video first second paragraph you will be seen in this last video. I stood watching the sun rise above the towering trees across the fences and slowly made my way back to the house. A white structure in the middle of this greenery. I could not believe that I was the owner of this land, and I was looking at my first crop as a farmer. After I had paid advance money for the land, I thought I would have some time to get familiar with the farming. But Moradatta, the broker who got us the land, had other ideas. He was keen that we plant moong at once. I was not prepared for this. I was still reading books and trying to figure out what we could sow and how we should go about it. Murudatta was quite firm. He said the season was right for showing moongs and best seed were available in Surat and in the adjacent state of Gujarat. So the farmers, that writer who stand on the middle of his farming, there were the sun rises, he watched that particular surrounding. There are the towering trees across the fences. Wide structure of middle of this greenery. I could not believe I am the owner of this land, and the first crop he has to be developed in his farming. Afterwards, he had paid so much money for his land, and he had not very well familiar with that particular farmings. But there is one man whose name is Murudatta, who had thus gave some ideas what to plant in my field. See, he suggested you plant the moong on that, and at that time I was not prepared on that particular farming, so I tried to read more books and figure out what could be saw and how should we go it. Murudatta was quite firm on his side. The season was right. All these thing information he convinced me about to planting the moong in the particular field, and that seed will be available in Surat in Marathi. कुंपणाकडील उंच झाडांमागून सूर्य उगवताना पाहिला मी उभा राहिलो आणि हिरवळीमध्ये असलेल्या पांढऱ्या राखीव घराच्या दिशेने हळू निघालो. ही जमीन माझ्या मालकीची आहे आणि शेतकरी या नात्याने माझ्या पहिल्या पिकासाठी पाहत असतो आहे. यावर माझा विश्वास बसत नव्हता. जमिनीसाठी आगाऊ रक्कम चुकती केल्याबद्दल शेतीबद्दल माहिती करून घ्यायला मला थोडा वेळ लागेल असे मला वाटत होते, परंतु आम्हाला जमीन मिळवून देणारे मध्यस्थ मोरूदादा यांच्या मनात मात्र काही वेगळ्या कल्पना होत्या. आम्ही लगेच मुंगाचे पीक घ्यावे अशी त्यांची इच्छा होती आणि मी तयार नव्हतो. मी अजून पुस्तके वाचून कोठे पीक घ्यावे याविषयी कसं पुढे काय करावे हे समजून घेण्यासाठी मनस्थितीत होतो. मोरूदादा मात्र ठाम होते. मूग पेरण्यासाठी आता ऋतू योग्य आहे आणि शेजारच्या गुजरात राज्यातील सुरतमध्ये उत्तम बियाणे उपलब्ध होते असे त्यांनी आम्हाला सांगितलं. I made a quiet trip to Surat, brought around the 10 kilograms of moongs. Murudata rented his tractor to plot and land and quickly planted the moong all over the places. So I made the trip towards the Surat and brought 10 kilograms of the moongs. And Murudanta has given his tractor for plotting the land quickly, and that has maybe I paid the rent for that particular tractor, and I all over planted the moong in my field in Marathi. लगेच मी सुरतला जाऊन 10 किलो मूग खरेदी करून आणले. मोरूदादाने शेत नांगरण्यासाठी ट्रॅक्टर भाड्याने दिलं आणि लगेच संपूर्ण शेतात मूग पेरले. A few days later, we were enjoyed to see the tiny green leaves. I had never seen the moon growing before. I thrilled at the sight. It was the same thrill I had felt as a young boy when I saw the first the hibiscus I planted the broom of the railway quarters in Vilaypalli in Mumbai. I regret to have to taken Moru's advice. So later few days I became very overenjoyed whenever the tiny leaves of that monks. I had never seen before that such kind of the sight before in anywhere. That's why I became very happy, and it was a thrill I felt just like a young boy. And I just once incident I saw in near the quarter of railways, and that was the planted the boom of hibiscus tree, and it was a grateful that advice given by the मोरू. काही दिवसांनी छोटी छोटी कवळी हिरवी पाली फुटलेले पाहून आम्हाला फार आनंद झाला. मी याआधी काहीही मूग उगवताना पाहिले नव्हते, यामुळे ते दृश्य पाहून मी खूपच रोमांचित झालो. लहानपणी मुंबई विलेपार्ल्यात रेल्वे क्वार्टर्समध्ये राहताना लावलेले जास्वंदीचे रोप उमलले पाहून मी जसा उल्हासित झालो होतो त्याची मला आठवण झाली आणि मोरूचा सल्ला मानला आणि याबद्दल मी त्याचा आभारी होतो. The next day, Morudada wanted to was the spray some pesticide on the plant. He claimed that it would give a higher yield. This was the something we did not want to do. We were clear that we would not use any chemical and tried to explain it to him. He reacted as if we had suggested harakiri. It took a lot of convincing to ensure that Morudada and his friends do not use any chemical on the farm. They refused to understand how crop could grow without spray. So Morudada suggested that you can use some pesticide to the plant that may be a higher yield, but I was not something accepted what he said, and I clearly said that I didn't use the chemical, and he explained everything. He reacted to that Morudada that harakiri means a farmer's way killing yourself by cutting open your stomach with the sword. It took a lot of convincing to ensure that Morudada's friend did not use such kind of chemical on the farm, and they refused to understand how the crop could be without the spray. तर यानंतर मोरूदादाने आपल्या रोट्यावर जंतुनाशक औषधी फवारणी करावीत असे आम्हाला सुचवले. त्यामुळे अधिक प्रमाणात पीक येईल आणि त्याचं ठाम मत होतं. पण असे काही करण्याची आमची इच्छा नव्हती. आपण कुठल्याही प्रकारची रसायने वापरायची नाहीत असे स्पष्ट मत होते आणि ते त्याला समजण्यासाठी आम्ही प्रयत्न केला. मात्र यावर त्याने आम्ही जणू काही हाराकिरी करीत आहोत अशी प्रतिक्रिया दिली. त्यामुळे मोरूदादा आणि त्यांच्या मित्रांनी शेतावर रासायनिक औषधे वापरून हे त्यांना पटवण्यासाठी आम्ही खूप धडपड करावी लागली. फवारण्याशिवाय पिके वाढू शकतात हे मानायला हे काही केल्या तयार नव्हते. Contrary to what everyone had told us, nature did her job and we need to bribe to get the work done. Soon it was the harvested time. We managed a respectable 300 kilograms and away full a lot of mungs, and with it a lot of confidence. Now I was certainly the land was fertile and it was possible to grow crops without chemical. It was a major moral booster. On the contrary, writer did not use in their plants the chemical to grow the crops, but he said that nature can give everything. We have to be done our work. That is the particular thing in the mind of the writers. He had soon harvesting times. He managed the respectable 300 kilograms production from this field, and at that time writer got good kind of the confidence and his land, and the land was fertile, and he understood that without the chemical we can be got good kind of the particular harvesting and particular kind of lot of monks in our field. सर्वांनी आम्हाला सांगितले की अगदी उलट निसर्ग देवतेने आम्हाला आमिषाशिवाय आपले चोख काम पार पाडले. कापणीची वेळ लवकर आली आणि 300 किलो इतके खूप चांगले मुगाचे उत्पन्न आणि प्रचंड आत्मविश्वास आम्हाला मिळाला. आम्ही जमीन सुपीक आहे, रासायनिक औषधाशिवाय पीक काढता येऊ शकते याची मला खात्री पटली आणि आमचे मनोबल वाढण्यासाठी ही फार मोठी गोष्ट होती. So now let us we stop here in this particular topic of the lesson, the scent of the rice. We will be continue in another video, but now all the students, you will be read again and again to understand this lesson and find out new words, that new words you did not have understood the meaning. You can write down and send me in my personal number. Thank you.